They're team names. So if we start here at this table, Cliff, what is your team name here?
Team Ike.
We got Team Ike. So Dal, why would we, as we look over your 90 years of life, why would we name one portion of this, your time frame as Team Ike? Was there ever a time you did something for President Ike Eisenhower?
Well, yeah, I worked on his plane when I was in the service. I worked on his plane, but it was a C-47. He never flew it.
But you worked on it.
He had a bigger plane that he flew on.
Yeah.
So I go out and rev it up once in a while.
So Dal worked on President Eisenhower's plane, right? Or he was general then, correct? He wasn't quite the president yet?
No, he wasn't president.
So he's a general at that point. All right, so the next team we have is called Team Barbershop. And Dal, why would we name another team Barbershop?
Well, I was a barber for a few years. Went in with my dad and had a really good relationship with my father, and we got along real good. And it was.
How long did you barber?
I think it was 38 years.
Wow. So when you started, how much did a haircut cost when you started?
$1.
$1.
Yep.
And when you stopped cutting, how much was a haircut?
I think I got $7.50.
$7.50. All right. What was one of your? Did you ever have any ornery customers?
Any ornery customer?
Yes.
Yeah. Right there, that guy that's sitting there.
Oh, that was one of your ornery customers.
Yeah.
When he got back at me, he nipped me in the ear when I and my blood was flowing.
That was extra, wasn't it?
I'd see what color his blood was.
That's right.
See if he was a blue blood or not.
So 38 years as a barber, and so that's Team Barbershop. The next team name is Team Buick. And Dal, why would we call you, why would we think about a Buick as we think about you?
I own Buicks.
How many Buicks did you own, if you had to guess?
I don't know.
I remember when you owned Pontiacs.
Yeah, I used to own Pontiac.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a GM man.
Yep.
I like GMs. So.
And here's a question, Team Buick. The question: what was your longest road trip? Because you and Twyla used to love to take road trips, right?
Yeah.
What was your longest road trip you can remember driving?
Well, we went out to California.
You drove out there.
Yeah, we drove down to New Orleans to see my brother that lived in New Orleans at the time. And then I had a missionary friend in Texas, Cecil Hawkins. He was a missionary, and then we stopped there to see them. And then I had a cousin that lived out in California.
Okay.
And we stopped to see her and made a round trip.
And how much did Twyla drive?
Very little.
Okay. So Dal loved his Buicks. All right. And the next team, what's that team's name? Team Bogey. So Team Bogey, and a picture of a golf course there. Why do you think we would call a team Team Bogey, Dal?
Well, because I had a lot of bogeys. Not many pars, but a lot of bogeys.
What was the closest to a hole-in-one? Did you get a hole-in-one ever?
Nope, never did.
Did you ever get close?
No, I don't think so.
Who was your favorite people to golf with as you think back over your golfing days? Who did you enjoy golfing with?
Well, I had a good friend there in Rittman that golfed with. Some I golfed with our former pastor, Reverend Donaldson. We golfed with him some. And Bill Hoffaker was a good friend that I golfed with a lot.
All right. And the last one, now this is unique to Myersdale. The last team, what's that team name back there? What is your team name?
Yellow Squirrel.
Team Yellow Squirrel. And what story comes to mind when you hear about yellow squirrels living here in Myersdale in the mountains surrounding Fight
Well,
Hall?
I tell you, squirrels used to bother my bird feeders all the time. They'd climb up the pole and get into my bird feeders. So somebody told me, he said, you know those squirrels, he said, they just keep coming. You know, they're always there. And I started trapping them. So I'd live trap them and I'd take them down to the river down there. I didn't put them in the river, but I'd take them down there and drop them and let them off. And somebody said, "Oh, those squirrels are coming back." They said, they come back to get in your bird feeder again. So I thought, I'm going to find out. So I held the trap up and I'd squirt them with yellow paint. And to see if they came back. But I never saw any come back with yellow paint on.
They tell their children that those friends are cursed.
So that's Team Yellow Squirrel up there. So we kind of told a story of Dow's life as a family. We thought about this and we tried to come up with some team names that would work. And then we thought we would do a quick game. And if you can press it, you've all seen Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? And we're going to play Are You Smarter Than a 90-year-old? Because Dow, you have 9 decades of life experience. So we are actually, let me see the paper. Here's the paper. Colson, can you give each table a piece of paper? All right, Colton's going to pass down each table, and each person's going to need to select a person who's going to write. All right, so you need someone who's been nominated to write on that, and you got pencils there, so that's fine. So you need someone that's going to be nominated to write. I'll point to her. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over a course of 9 decades. We're going to ask questions to see if you guys are smarter than a 90-year-old, because Dow, you have a lot of life. You've seen a lot of change happen in 90 years. So we're going to go through and talk about history, and your table will be a team. We're going to keep score, and we have a timer. What's the timer sound like? When time's up, what's going to happen? When time's up, go ahead. What does it sound like? All right, so that's when time is up, we're going to ring the bell. So your team's going to have a chance to work on this. So let's go to the next slide. Let's go to the next slide. So this is an example. This is So this is just an example. I'll give you the answer. But what year did John Deere start producing tractors? So this is an example question. Any guesses? Anybody want to guess what year did John Deere start producing tractors?